It's important, maybe the most important, that when you cross over, whatever you want to call it, heaven, the next realm, the new earth, you remember who you are. But here's the paradox: you won't be who you were. We're imperfect now, flawed, emotional, attached. And in that other place, perfection strips all that away. Your individual identity, gone. The version of you that loved your parents, your child, your partner, that version doesn't exist anymore. I know that's hard to accept. It's why I fear the person I'll become in the spiritual realm. Even if it's a new earth, I won't be me. All the emotion we carry, pain, joy, longing, it's flesh-bound. It's the result of imperfection. And once perfection arrives, those attachments dissolve. Even the idea of having a wife, a child, a bond, it changes. You'll still be an individual, but not in the way we understand it. It's more like a Star Trek Vulcan or a Borg collective. No ego, no emotional chaos, just function, clarity, unity. And yes, even the spiritual realm follows that same logic. It's not sentimental, it's not romantic. It's structured, it's pure, it's terrifying. Because the person I am now, the one who feels, who remembers, who loves, won't survive that transition. And maybe that's the point. But it doesn't make it easier to accept. I've thought about this for years, not just in passing, but deeply. Because if the soul is eternal and the flesh is temporary, then everything we cherish here, every hug, every tear, every memory is tied to a version of us that doesn't last. And that raises a brutal question. If I'm no longer me, then who am I? And if the people I love are no longer themselves, then what are we to each other? We talk about reunion in the afterlife, but reunion requires recognition, and recognition requires identity. So if identity dissolves, what's left? Maybe we become something higher. Maybe we merge into a collective consciousness. Maybe we operate on pure truth, pure light, pure purpose. But that version of existence doesn't feel like love. It feels like clarity. And clarity, stripped of emotion, is cold. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying it's different. And difference, when it touches the soul, feels like loss. So yes, I fear the person I'll become. Not because I expect punishment, but because I expect transformation, and transformation means letting go of everything I've ever called mine. My name, my story, my attachments, my imperfections. And maybe that's divine, but it's also devastating. Because the cost of perfection is the death of personality. And the death of personality is the death of memory. So if I forget who I was and you forget who you were, then what are we? Maybe that's the final mystery. And maybe it's not meant to be solved, just felt, just feared, just respected. And maybe that's why we cling so tightly to this life, not because it's perfect, but because it's personal. Here, we cry, we laugh, we ache, we remember. We hold hands not because we're programmed to, but because we need to. We say I love you, not because it's logical, but because it's fragile. And maybe that fragility is the most sacred thing we have, because once we cross over, we won't need it, we won't feel it, we won't miss it. But right now, in this imperfect body, I do, and I will, until the very end.